everybody. Welcome along to the Hindsight Podcast. Glad to have you join us. And I hope the fuel prices are kind to you because they're not so kind to us this morning. We had to, make the quick reserve down to the station or down to the studio to record an episode. And we are glad to be here. And just as we enter the off-season period, I get the feeling that you might see less of us, maybe once in 2 weeks. So we're still trying to figure it out. But notwithstanding, you always know where to find all the premium content for the podcast on the page, Instagram, YouTube. What else is there? TikTok as well. Always great to see everyone as well. Idiom Monday, not here today as a result of just chilling away from the podcast. But we've got IBK Sports who makes a return to the podcast. IBK, were you last week?
No.
Rakonify continues to be a mainstay, and we've got a new inclusion in Ifreke Yang. Ifreke, it's good to talk to you and good to see you here on the podcast for the very first time. I always confuse the blog, the newspaper or the online outfit you write for. Is it Daily Post or Niger News?
I work with Daily Post. I've been with them for almost 12 years now.
12 years.
So the confusion is that there's a Y Niger history.
Right. Right.
So because my bio never has where I work.
Okay.
My bio is permanent. What is on my bio is what I'll always be.
Yes.
So everything, which is writer, Arsenal fan, God enthusiast.
Right. So
you're an Arsenal fan?
You don't have.
Yes, I am. Wait till you want to.
So I wanted to. I brought that up because I wanted to ask you what it feels like to be somewhere for 12 years, right?
Yeah.
Because we're in a place in a climate where it's hard to be in a job for 2 years. I'd like to see the national average for people staying in jobs because I get the feeling that it'll probably
especially young people.
Yeah, especially young people. What is that like?
Well, I was literally the first staff my boss hired.
Right.
So we built the company from scratch. It's not as if I have a stake in the company,
Right.
but I think there's
a
sentimental attachment.
Of course.
No, I did not. At that time, I didn't even think it was going to be big, to be
Right.
honest. But I just grew with it because I was living in Nigeria at the time. I just needed something to get away to. And over the years, yes, I've gotten a lot of offers. I've done side gigs here and there, but I've just... Maybe it's loyalty, maybe it's laziness or whatever. Or I value the stability the job gives,
Yeah.
So.
That level of honesty is actually, you don't see people talk about their work with that level of honesty. So.
You get age where you go reach way. Then if you beat you, go talk with today.
But you're all, I see cameo appearances on Robbing Minds as well. On channels.
My job allows me to do every other thing.
Yeah.
So.
I don't advise anybody to take a job that doesn't allow you to do multiple stuff.
Especially in this Lagos.
Except the job pays you a lot of money.
A lot
Yes.
to focus only on that
only
job.
on that.
Also, I think that human beings are multi-talented, and you like to
Exactly.
express yourself in different
Exactly.
ways. So if you work in the media, maybe you want to do TV, maybe you want to do radio, maybe you want to write.
Exactly.
You're capable
And
of being...
and I think it's good that you mentioned it because when you say that, people don't really stay in a particular job for a very long time, I say especially young people. It's a lot of things. It's not entirely
Yes, it's
down
a lot
to
of things.
because these young people nowadays they don't like stay. There's a lot of things involved because even we talk about even in media space, you see some organizations who tell you no because you work with us, we don't want you to work with another person.
Yes.
So there are numerous things involved why people can't stay in one job. These days you can see where you can the employer clearly knows that they don't pay you up to what they're supposed to pay you, but still they want you to be exclusive. Like no.
So what I like to tell people is that I think my boss is a Nigerian with a British mind.
Good. I was about to go there.
So I worked for my boss for 3 years. I didn't see him. I didn't hear his voice because somebody recommended me to him. And so, yeah. So he doesn't care for certain things. He just wants you to deliver
Get the
what
job
you
done.
have done.
Absolutely.
I don't care what
that's
you
all.
To all the young people listening.
You see, that's why you'll be there for 12 years. Because you'll be African man. If they stifle you.
I mean, I like liberalism.
Exactly.
I was brought up to be a very liberal person. So.
Yeah. That's cool. Grew up in Lagos?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, sounds good. Have you ever been to where you come from? Akwa Ibom?
Yes, sadly, I've not been there in 20 years.
Yeah.
Crucify me.
That's wild. It's wild.
It's very wild because...
But you don't have family there?
I do. My grandma died in December last year, but I just sent money. I refused to go.
Right.
Yeah. I don't like travel.
Witches and wizards. Is that what they said to you? Is that what they told you? Witches and wizards?
No. I have road sickness.
Oh, right.
When I travel.
But you can fly now. Come have international airport.
Economy no great like that.
Right.
But you sabi speak now.
Yeah, but generally I have a bad tongue for languages.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah.
A lot of honesty on the pod this morning, and this is day 3 of the.
Yeah, it was still
So
running.
don't rest.
If you're elected as president, sir?
Day 1, hit the ground running. Day 2, continue running. Day 3, don't rest.
Don't rest.
It's to favor us.
And,
It's to favor
you know,
my family.
And my
I think
family.
in favor you and your family, IBK. Because I saw, you know the funny thing, I was laughing. I was on my phone on today's Thursday. We record on a Thursday, so just in case you're wondering how we always have snippets to drop. We're placed in a nice, triangle in the weekend where we're almost at a nice place. The only time it doesn't quite work for us is when the Champions League are played, 2 days before, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But I was on my phone on inauguration day, I think the next day, and I haven't seen you post jersey pictures in a while. Immediately after inauguration, I saw IBK posted like 14 jersey pictures.
You say before, now customers they come. But now I'm
Now you
pushing
they find
myself
them
to you.
aggressive.
I know about 2,000 naira, just 4 liters. Ha!
Come and buy
Hey,
one.
yeah,
No, that's cheap now.
It's crazy
2K45
because
is cheap, actually.
on Saturday I went and got fuel. I just sensed that something was going to happen on Monday. In fact, I thought it might be an unrest. That's where my mind was going to. Then, all of a sudden, there's a fuel station beside my house. As soon as the speech was over, they closed. They now called this one from Abuja State.
It's actually very bad. I think Nigerians are part of the problem, to be honest, because the fuel they have now, most of it is subsidized. So
My brother.
No.
the fresh one
IBK,
coming
that's
in-
not how it works.
That's not how it
Okay,
works.
so
Like, bro,
that's not how it works.
So let me tell you
That's
something.
not how it
That's
works.
not how it works, my
If
guy.
they sell and give you
How?
10 naira, then go buy them 20 naira.
So let me tell you something, right? You see, and we're going to shut this down very early because we have just 1 hour to record today, right? So we don't spiral into. But governments are made to think 360,
Yeah.
right? And
Think
that's what I'm
steps
going to say.
ahead.
Governments are not made to think, announce
Announce
that's it.
and then we'll
and figure it out.
I guess what?
You're
As a matter
meant
of fact,
you're meant
just-
to think about it
just
the
to add to
whole
that,
circle.
Just to add to that, my guy, you see, when we speak, I would say Nigerians were our own problems. Sometimes that is true, but most of the time when we say it, I will leave it open ended. We make it seem like now only Nigerians they behave like this. There's no way on the surface of this earth where you have human beings. If you do not create structure, rule of law, all that, this is what you can do, this is what you can do. There's nowhere you give somebody an opportunity to make money
And they won't.
and they won't take it.
I think
There's
you're-
nowhere you go to and you give somebody an opportunity to make easy money from business, and by themselves they will tell you that this money,
But,
this
but,
easy
that,
money.
but I've
There's
been yes,
nowhere.
I've been yes, Bovas they sell normal price.
Who's that? Who's that?
That Bovas.
You
Who's
find
Bovas?
people.
Who's Bovas?
Nah,
don't
filling
know.
station now.
I don't know.
I never heard
Never
about
hear
it.
Bovas.
Never-
I think the name
No,
sounds
it-
familiar.
I
it
never
sounds
hear
like-
him
Don't
before.
you
This
get
is first
it?
time.
So- Go for it.
Yeah, my own thing is if you find people after the pronouncement or the announcement that are still selling the normal price, good luck to them. If you find those that have said, subsidy don't come out, so we'll start
Yeah.
selling. It is not to demonize them.
Yes.
Morally, what they have done might have been wrong, but business-wise,
That's
there's
just-
literally
it's just-
nobody that won't take.
Guy,
You
that's
guys
the
just-
whole
it's
lot.
Because
just
who's going to
how-
make
that's how
up for
it
the
works.
losses?
Like,
Nah,
because
the-
obviously
the
they might
ones-
have had losses too,
The ones,
Yeah,
and they've been
yeah.
operating in
ones,
this
the
country.
ones we don't
In
even
the
get
past.
like 5 tankers down. And then go up.
You don't know the kind of losses where they don't get now.
the
Before
end,
now.
In the end, right? I mean, if you buy fuel, if you're lucky to buy full tank at 185, max 2 weeks, man.
You go still finish.
Max 2
Yeah,
weeks,
you
man.
go see enter.
And you go finish.
It's why I don't queue for petrol.
You know, and
About
yeah,
my own-
I
it's
don't
one
keep
of
up
it's
petrol.
one
My
of the,
full tank no
and
dey
it's
reach-
also
no
why
dey
and it's
reach
also
2
why I
weeks,
was like
so.
and it's also why I was like like what you said, like government don't think linear. It's that's why it's called governance. Like
It's
the
holistic.
Yeah,
bro,
you
it's
gotta- you
holistic.
gotta- you gotta
From
think
the
throughout
the announcement
the whole thing.
alone, I told someone, I said to if you give assurance of supply before making that announcement, or as you are making that announcement, you cut that chaos by half.
Right. And in the end, right, we have to deal with it. Someone said, this is a funny joke I shared with Ini on Saturday. I think we were around as well. Someone said, tell me more about yourself. So the Opus in
I
23.
did the person.
At the Opus in
I did
23
tell you.
million.
Yes, sir.
And that's the format going forward.
Everywhere just
But
is scattered.
always when you have a bit of like downer, it's important to share some
You know,
gifts
like, most
and
best
bring
is
some stuff that is important. We
We
have we have a couple of nice goodies sent our way,
Looking good, my
courtesy
guy.
Eccentric. So Eccentric sent us a couple of things, a couple of months ago, and they thought it would be nice to give us more stuff, right? And they sent us some nice shirts.
Looking good.
And the shirts
guy.
are always really nice, to be honest. It's like really pretty.
Looking
Oh, I like that color. That's
yeah,
peach,
this
Abi.
Yeah, this is peach.
It's peach or pink?
This is
Is
peach,
that
bro.
peach or
It's
pink?
peach. It's peach. It's peach. It's peach. It's peach.
Why you gonna adjust
I'm wearing
the
a dark
Like, if you
shirt.
look at the glasses.
I can see that it's peach.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to pick mine because the last
Wow.
time, because no, there's a history to this thing.
Okay.
The last time, La Liga gave us shirts, I left it open. Rufai picked the shirts that I picked before,
Wale,
and I wanted to be civil.
Wale, can you crush this, please? Because this narrative has been going on.
No, but
this
it's
table.
true. But it's true. So I'm
Why?
going to pick.
What do you mean say accept that? What do you mean I'm bigger than that? You see, this is what
I mean,
happened in the
that
country.
Liga shirt, nah, no
Somebody
talk
is a
about
victim
that,
of injustice. You say accept it.
Where the
I like
shirt
this
dey?
jacket.
How many shirts then drop?
I hope it comes
Okay,
off.
for that goodie this thing.
Hold on a sec. No, Eccentric. You might have to send me another. Wait, hold on a sec.
No go spoil am on top show.
No, but you don't make pick up. It's bound now. Right. So yeah, this is what I'm gonna pick. I'm sure you guys would. Ini, should I pick for Ini? No, Ini has a. Ini has a
Wale
big
don already
size.
sort am out. That's why I'm not.
So
Wale, how fun now? Is this how you
I
treat your
celebrate
guests?
you, my brother.
So you came on the wrong day.
Hey, whoa.
Come on,
No,
come on a new
just-
day, and that would be great.
Just drop
But
them.
no
No
one.
one.
Shouts to Eccentric for the
Eccentric.
outfits. It's
God
really
bless
nice, and we appreciate it.
Sorry,
yeah.
guys.
So
Yeah.
You
If
want
you're
where I'm already?
if you're watching the pod, get onto Eccentric, eccentric_ng. I think that's their
It just fits.
Instagram handle.
Just
Just go there. They have some nice stuff. And this stuff's are
This
made.
is really good.
Once you order, it's easy, straight up. You know how these
This
things
is
work,
really
yeah.
good.
No,
So we appreciate
IBK they even she dey try for am well.
Yeah. It's cool stuff.
Very good.
Anyway, let's start with a conversation that I feel is important to have,
I see
especially
badge. I just in our money. Eccentric money.
especially in the wake
When will be
of
your
the
clicker?
season finishing.
Now click I go see $1 we don't.
No, you won't see. Not in a,
982 $1.
not that was 20 years ago.
Yeah,
you
that
won't
was
see.
a
Never that time where you go.
You won't see. Okay,
They could research for.
you won't see. Okay, that has.
He's a professional now.
I do like
Consummate
You won't have. You won't see. You won't see.
All those are crickada here.
Okays that have that kind of stuff.
No,
now.
you won't now. When my policy bought this car, like years
It's
ago,
not-
like how many years now?
You
Maybe
see
like
phone
30
inside.
years. Wait, he said
Yeah.
see phone inside. See
But yeah.
small currency now, small dollars here and there.
But yeah, that's pretty much how that works. A shout out to everyone who's a part of the podcast. We're winding down to the season. I mean, season is done. I think a couple more games to go. Champions League, FA Cup final. So
Pretty much those two.
So pretty much
Yeah,
those two.
Serie A
But why
guys.
didn't they
if
play
you're-
the UEFA Conference League final before the Europa League?
That's the way they did it last season. So I
No,
guess
it's,
that's what they want.
That's odd.
Now UEFA.
I mean,
that's
Western fans could be.
I actually thought it was Mourinho's factor last season.
Wait, they haven't played the
Europa
Conference League.
Final.
That's what they did
Europa
last
League.
season too.
Wow.
I was
So you're
thinking it was
trying to-
Mourinho's factor
If you
last
have
season.
two tournaments, my understanding is that if you have two premier tournaments and you're trying to build expectation, it's best to sandwich the one that doesn't have a lot of traction between those.
Yes,
two.
I think that's what it
That
is.
makes
So
sense.
that-
though.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
makes sense to me. So I totally agree with that. Anyway, let's start with the preview to the FA Cup final, right? Which is where I think is great because the treble. So two teams can win a double, but one team can win a treble. I want to start with that because if you think about City winning the treble and what they've done already in the Premier League, of course, Champions League final already against Inter Milan, they're favorites everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Right?
Everywhere.
What's
Even-
going to happen on
even next
Saturday
season.
or Sunday rather? That's the
No,
game.
Saturday.
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 Yeah.
Yeah. 3:00, I imagine.
3:45 there about
What's
Is it?
going to happen there?
Well, I mean, like you said, City are obvious. Why you? I don't understand.
No, I want to hear what
What's
you want
going
to
on
talk
in your
now.
head?
Okay, you know
Excitement.
that in the end,
Talk, we can hear you.
in the end, if City don't win the treble, right, you have nowhere to hide.
What?
Me will
My own be
see-
say-
me will
my
see
own
am
be say,
first.
wait
No,
till
no,
be say, I do- I-
You know,
I
you know,
begin
for
talk,
football,
they
for
laugh.
Yeah, I
football,
want to hear.
for
That's my
football,
own.
for football fans, right? The ones I respect the most are the ones that can have an opinion before the game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The ones that, wait in the corner, they hide. And maybe they don't,
so
they don't, they tell you,
every day.
no, but I mean, one the groups I can see it, right? The ones that wait in the corner because they're afraid and they can't hold an opinion.
Only
So
say
after
game
the
over.
game, they come out and say, "Oh, me, I knew they would
Well, it
win."
was game over
Like,
now.
it's the most funny. It's the
don't
most
score
funny
now.
mentality because I'm like thinking, if you have a clear idea of how the game is going to be played out,
Why you not talking before?
Why don't you say it before the game?
Oh,
Do
you
you
get
get?
fear now. You know what's funny, right?
But
you know what's funny.
So
you know what's funny.
so
yeah?
you know what? This, because people are listening to us and you're just joining us. We're having a chat in the group about the Europa League final. So when Dybala scored the first goal, IBK was nowhere to be found, right?
Of course.
And Ini made a comment in the group and said, "Oh,
it was Oli.
formation will be 9-1 and stuff
Only
like
said
that."
game over or something.
Now, IBK comes after the game and says, "Oh, I knew the game," or makes a comment that kind of feels like
Like saying no before.
like saying no.
Yeah.
saying
If
yeah.
you know before, why you
No,
not
you-
talking
you-
before?
no, you
know
shut in
what's
your-
funny?
you shut in your
I
pants.
saw people like him. Obviously, when I say people like him that were in his camp, the anti-Mourinho, pro-Pep, I saw them. A lot of them, after the ball scored, they actually were tweeting, that's game over.
Oh,
You don't
yeah.
allow a Jose team score you first. Bro, all of them, call gas, come back, call recant. Bro, come on now.
No, the funny thing is, where I watched the game and I got the feeling that Sevilla would win, but I did also hold the opinion that if Roma scored first, that's it. Roma considered 3 goals in knockout stages all tournaments. So I was of the opinion.
Nah, every cover, we
Oh,
don't enter this room.
no, because of IBK's this thing. So let's quickly do that before we do everything.
I
Okay.
still think Roma scored too
okay.
early in that match to have held on for that.
No. When did they score in the
You see, people-
in the conference final?
This
scored-
is
they scored-
Sevilla.
no,
This-
hold on.
Now,
I mean,
now
hold
this
on.
is it. This
Conference-
is it.
conference final,
I
they
told-
scored- they scored
I-
earlier.
I told a friend
About
yesterday.
weight.
Immediately, Roma scored. I said, "Fine, Mourinho is someone who loves low block. We know that. But if you are playing against a team like Sevilla, this is why I dislike Sevilla a lot. They have different style of plays. I said, if you are playing against a team that puts the ball on the ground and finds a way into your box,
That's
fine.
not how- that's
wait.
not how
Now let
Sevilla
me
play.
make
Make
my
him
point.
finish,
Fine,
make him finish.
it works. Sevilla, they have different approach. But if you are playing against a team that can do that and can also send crosses into the box, I think that's the problem.
Did you watch the
As
game
much-
yesterday?
Did you watch the game?
I saw the game.
I doubt
You
you
be wait,
watched the
you be
game.
Yeah, I
wait.
saw
You
the
watch the
game.
game.
Yeah.
Okay, can I ask you a question now?
Okay.
What did Sevilla do? What did Sevilla do that was special that won them the game?
They didn't need to do anything special. I knew that the more they send crosses into the box, the more they find a way to get into the box of Roma, there will be a goal that will come out for them. You can ask my brother. I said it. The approach to the game, they knew that Roma were going to sit back immediately after scoring that goal. They knew it was obvious.
But you see, that's another
But they
narrative.
went for it.
But you see, that's
They did
another
not-
narrative that I won't agree with.
Who are
Okay.
the better chances in the game?
I think it's Roma, to be honest.
Bro,
I think it's Roma.
you be-
I was actually really surprised. I was really surprised the way Roma came
hold
at
on.
Sevilla.
How do you create clear cut chances?
You see, now where I won't go now. You see, that's another narrative I won't agree with. You see, people like to sit on Twitter.
No, I think a lot of people don't know the game.
Do you understand?
So
I just carry this thing. Oh, they say Mourinho used to sit back. That was why I asked, did you watch the game? So you see, the first half of the game, this narrative that Mourinho loves to sit back. Roma had a game plan that wasn't a low block. If you saw the game, they had moments when they come up.
In my opinion, the game
and
was too
play.
open, sir.
Do you understand?
In your opinion, they played the game too open.
See, they had moments when they
Quite
See,
open. It was
they
a back
had
and
moments when they came up and played when they needed to go back and defend. That was the plan, and that was why they scored the goal. If you also remember the goal they scored, it was a ball that they picked off Sevilla when Sevilla were trying to build up, right? And that was why they scored, because they were in a position
Counter-press.
where we've come to play. The only reason why they went back a little bit in the second half was because Dybala was out, and that brother was injured. He's been injured for long. Do you understand? That's the only reason why they stepped back a little
I think
bit.
I missed 7 matches, something like that. Or
Do you
12
understand?
matches for the
And
game.
despite that, my guy, they still continue with that moments when they had moments when they would step up and play. That was why that handball happened. So when people say, the way Sevilla play, actually in the first half of the game, I was watching it. I wanted to see, because I never watched Sevilla a lot this season. Aside from, they've won so number of Europa League. I never watched them a lot. But I know that they've been suffering in the La Liga. They've been suffering in the league. So first of all, I wanted to see, okay, let me see what these guys are about. This
You
Sevilla
didn't see them
team.
against Man U in the
The-
semi-final.
I thought you were
In the-
Sevilla play.
No, I
Sevilla-
think,
I
I
didn't
think
watch
that
them.
one, I think that
Sevilla play
against United,
Sevilla-
I think
Sevilla
it just
play-
happened that
Sevilla play basic, right?
Bro, God bless. I didn't watch them in the semi-final.
Let's not. Let's
So
not.
No,
what
that's-
I mean
that's-
by I
okay.
mean by so I wanted to see.
I thought their
wanted-
games versus Man U were just bizarre
Wait,
games.
bro, God
Even
bless
the
you.
one they-
Bro,
3-0.
Man
He
U
was
gave
very
the game
gave it to them.
Yes,
So,
it
bro,
was very bizarre.
so I wanted to see what this Sevilla team. Okay, we're about. Oh, let me see the know. Let me see the things that they say on a Sabi player and all that. But the truth was that Roma had them on point where they wanted them to be. There was no way Sevilla didn't get a sniff until what's his name? Rakitic had a long range effort that came off the bar.
Yeah.
Do you understand? There was nothing. Literally didn't create nothing. Do you understand what I mean? So when you want to spin the narrative of as a matter of fact, the Roma that they were the ones that actually created the chances that should have been goals.
Yeah.
You understand? So
Okay.
I don't get where this they went there and they sat
but
back.
no,
But that's not true.
I think so.
okay.
My approach is Sevilla have won, and it falls into the category of when Real Madrid win the Champions League. Sometimes you cannot explain how it happens, but it happens, and that's why football is so powerful, and the narratives are so powerful because Sevilla are like Real Madrid in the Europa League. So last Real Madrid won 3 Champions League, on a stretch. I think they won last season as well. If you line up 4 Champions League titles that Real Madrid won, you can only justify maybe 2, right?
Yeah.
I don't entirely agree.
No. But they've
How
won.
many
but
can you
Yeah,
justify?
No, but no.
When you say
Yeah,
justify,
hold on,
it's a
no,
very,
no,
it's a
I
very
don't say
strong-
justify. I
very
think
difficult conversation to
You
have.
say
when
you say some.
justify.
You look back at it and you look
How
at
did it
how
happen?
did they
You
even
can't
do
you
this?
can't because they
Even
were not
last year.
different.
Yeah,
Even last year.
So
Like
because
that
they were
last year
justify-
one, that one was actually the main one that I can
justify not literally. You hardly say. You would say how they come back from that.
Yeah.
Right. But the point remains that is why they are that in that tournament, and history, has a place in football. People will say, "Oh, history, it doesn't matter," to a great extent, but it does play on the minds of football players that we have this momentum. But that wasn't the
helps
case.
a lot.
What we saw yesterday wasn't the case of Mourinho or played. If Reke said at the start of the podcast before we started recording, that Mourinho is out there. I think it's lazy analysis. You get, because if you sit and watch football and you see how different teams approach the game, you will realize that it is actually harder for a team to play defensively than a team to
Yeah,
attack.
it requires a lot of concentration.
And this is what people don't realize.
Mad
right?
concentration.
Only very few people in the game that watch game as football fans, I'm a football fan, understand what I'm saying. When footballers go to play, if you're growing up, if you watch football on the street, it is a problem to get everybody to do one thing on the pitch, to play to a plan.
How much more?
When
11 people?
university students,
I
I
mean, 10 people.
coach my university team, right?
Senior man.
So
Title winning manager.
I coach my university team.
Where your
right?
license?
Title winning manager. Frank Lampard.
we win.
Where your medal? Where your medal?
Where your medal?
One of the I didn't tell you I had the medal. Right? But one of the most difficult
Wetin be your
things
win ratio?
is
No,
to
you be
tell
Pochettino.
top players,
Wetin be
right,
your win ratio before we hear wetin you want talk?
to tell top players to concentrate.
Show me your stats first. I know the
Honestly, just start.
No, but my stats are
Show me
no.
stats.
What is your pedigree?
The game is clear to see. You get my knowledge of the game is unparalleled.
Come on now.
So we can't. I thought that was we are settled that already. You get. We settled that already. You get.
Just the hype
Time
is-
when-
So let's do a wager. Let's do a wager. When you bring your medal, I bring my star. How is that?
You don't end.
You
How
this
is that?
guy.
You
No,
don't
wahala,
end.
no,
No
wahala.
clear
Do
about-
you have a deal?
No, wahala, I go bring
You get.
him. I go bring
I'll
him.
put the boys on Zoom. You get. When they do formation, when they do hostel games, you get. My bro Alex go call me say Alpha. How? Now the coach for the hostel he go call me say Alpha. What's happen? Can't look this thing what I said.
So you
Just
don't say
check-
you be real coach, but then they consult you.
No, me I be technical director. You get.
I mean,
You get. But you go back to it. I'm a coach by trade. You get.
This guy is relentless. He's not great. He's not great.
And shout out to Nice short members. I saw them in the comments, giving the guy props. So that's fair. But if you go back to, just use a simple example, go back to university. the biggest problem you see people arguing in hostels, in dormitories, is that this guy, they like stick to within the entire making.
Yes, now I know if he beats me now.
You understand?
Okay, I mean, Mark, if you be like,
I know Mark be that. Do you get? So I don't know how people go from seeing that and don't understand that when you have quality players, what they want to do is be disciplined.
They want to play, yeah. They
No,
just want to play.
They want to play.
And that comes
very
indiscipline.
difficult, yeah.
And just to quickly add, you and I talked about this before. If you when you have the skillful players or you have the technically gifted players, and they come with all their bags of tricks and all these things, and then a defender is supposed to try and stop them. So if this guy is so skillful and I'm supposed to try and stop that person, and I stop them successfully, do you not understand that the same way this person is employing the tricks and the skills that he has to try and get past me, I have to employ
what I have, my
defensive
skill set.
skills that are par to
Yeah.
stop you.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. If you're Luka Modric, right, playing last season in Champions League, you are more skillful. You are better than any midfielder on the pitch, right? But the coach says, "This is how we're going to play to win." We might have a quality overload in midfield, but we're weak defensively, and we have a 35-year-old striker that cannot press as much. So what we need to do is we're not going to play to your strengths and expose the entire team. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we stay close.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard it is for a player like Modric, right?
To be hardworking.
To be hardworking, to stay focused without the ball.
Pep does that too with his boys. Those Bernardo Silva. Those
Because
boys just want to play.
What they prefer to do.
To be with the ball. I remember when we were young. Then if you are not with the ball, you go don't stand. Forget. Say
You don't forget. Say
you did. Say you did play.
Is that not the 10 flat footage? Is that not where it comes from?
You don't forget. Say you did play safe.
You understand?
I think
That's
so.
true.
So
That's true.
to stay sharp, and this is one of the things
very true.
mentality we need
So
to reverse
this
in
is-
football,
this is
where people make argument and say,
very-
"Oh,
yeah.
it is easy to play defensive football. It is
What-
hard."
what I think
Do you
is
think the
that-
job that Sean Dex has done this season with Everton is easy?
It's not even.
It's not
pretty at
easy.
all.
You are going to say.
I think it's a thing with football fans. They just want to enjoy the game. So
Of course.
yeah.
Yeah, it
So
comes from
it's
there
like
too.
if what they are saying does not entertain
Entertain
does not
them.
excite them, they're like, "What's happening? Why
Yeah.
do you have these 2 banks of 4,
Yeah,
5-3-2? Why are we not attacking? Why are they pressing us so much?"
But football
It's-
is business.
exactly. So
That's
it's
the
their
truth.
emotions being expressed. They don't care for all these intricate details that UB has.
I think also what people now also need to understand is that, for example, if you go and play an open game and you decide, I'm going to play an open game, there has to be a level of belief that you have in your players individually, because it is now more difficult for them to stay in a tactical shape when you decide, my boys,
Let
these are
them
the
express
technically
themselves.
gifted ones, let them play. You saw in that game yesterday, the times when, even when towards the end of the game, Roma were sort of soaking up pressure and trying to hit on the counter, you can see the deficiency, the lack of quality in those individual players. Bro, just
on the attack.
just control the ball.
yeah.
Control simple ball. So people also need to understand that the manager knows the limitation of his players individually.
The
Easily.
best
Easily.
managers,
Easily.
right, are the ones that can work with those kind of players.
kind of players, yeah. We
Because
said
you are
it- we said it here some time ago.
creating magic. You are actually creating.
It was the same
something
thing with
from
Jose
nothing.
and Mourinho.
It is like
with Jose and Man U now. They say, how can he go and play like this? But the man knows, say, this
I see
Marcus
players in
Rowe
training.
and this who again
Rashford.
he was playing with that time. Say, Smalling them. And all this, by the way, Smalling had an amazing game.
Yes.
Oh
yesterday.
yeah,
I don't know how Smalling improved so much like that, man.
El Nesri didn't have a
I
sniff
got-
in the
They
game.
will never say.
Guy,
They will
So
never
that's
say.
why they took
I
the
don't
man
think
of the
anyone
match
won
award from
area
him and gave
balls
it to
than him
Bournemouth
that yesterday.
because he was on the losing side.
Oh,
I didn't understand
who's
that.
that?
I guess go of the
Who-
shootout.
who-
Yeah,
basically.
they took
Yeah,
man
they-
of the match award from Smalling.
Smalling
and
to
gave
give
it
it
to
Bono.
It was the same
They
nonsense
said
they
go of
did
the
I thought that was
shootout.
ridiculous.
The Kevin De Bruyne
at the World
thing now.
Cup thing. Give Kevin De Bruyne the.
You know they will never
I
say-
think same thing at Champions League as well.
I thought that was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that's
Yeah.
the brother one. They will never say that. They will never say that. Oh, Jose has improved Smalling. That line you will never see it anywhere.
you can't-
Jose has
But
improved
what
Sterling.
I was trying to say
Smalling.
yesterday was that when Sevilla were on the attack, I think Roma had about 9 men behind the ball. So that was how.
Of course now.
Not necessarily
But that's how-
low
that's
block.
how-
that's how
or-
it's-
no,
no,
Typical
no.
Mourinho team would defend well.
You know why that has to be? You know why that has to be?
Hold on.
Anyways.
No, not all teams defend
I
like that.
implore you.
That's what I'm
no,
saying.
When you're in a tough game, that's how all teams defend. I dare you to go and check it out.
Go and check Man City versus
Arsenal, Man City. Go and watch the
Go and
game
watch
back.
the game.
Go and watch the game back. When Arsenal had the ball, everybody including Haaland, were in their half.
Especially after Man City has scored 2. Go and watch the game again.
So
After there was never a time. See, let's even keep it safe. There was never a time that I can remember, especially after City scored 2, that Arsenal were attacking and City did not have at least 7 people behind the ball. Always 2 pivots. Always.
I think even the game at the Etihad was a bit more open, but the game at the Emirates, they
they
scared
because they
Arsenal.
know
Of Arsenal at the time.
you can't
It
play.
was even more open at the Etihad.
You get so people need to then understand, and this is why I also don't subscribe when I hear this Mourinho tactics. His tactics is to sit back, bro. You have to understand through the jobs that he's been in. He's played to the strength of players at his disposal. So you have to. That's why when you go to and obviously if he wants to defend, that's how he defends. So this is the shape that will have to stay in when we defend. This is what
If Smalling wasn't there, they'll have considered as
isn't that what managers are lacking now in the game?
You know, I was watching the De Zerbi. There's that De Zerbi clip that's going round on Twitter. And the guy said there is dominating the team when you don't have the ball.
Of course.
And he explained it. So we've always talked about this before. It makes it for me. I was happy. You get.
brought
I was
clarity.
happy. I was happy that a coach that you people are claiming is the next big thing. Is saying.
And I didn't have to go to a coaching school to know that.
To know that you can
it's
dominate
plain.
a team when you don't have the ball. And he broke it down. He said when a team doesn't have the ball and you are doing what they want you to do, they are dominating you. Because you are passing here, you are passing there. They are expecting those passes. They are dominating you.
It's fun to them.
If I remember the episode, I use an example. If I am sitting in the CCTV control room, right, and the gate is open, and I have cameras everywhere, and I watch criminals come into my house.
I used
Who's in
there was
control?
one analogy I used that was very similar.
Who's in control? I'm in control. I know where you're doing. I can see where you're going. I've clearly locked off the area. I think it was I go back to Inter Milan Barcelona game, you know. I said, look, when they have the ball in their half, let them do what they want to do. Let them come up. I didn't know that Mourinho would have been the most decorated European manager if he won.
Really?
That
it would have been.
He would have.
Yeah.
That was the sixth final.
It's incredible stuff.
That means of course it will happen.
You know,
now. That means Mourinho knows it will happen very soon.
You know,
But it didn't pay them,
if Mourinho just stay
course,
in Roma next season just to win Europa League.
Maybe he's going back to PSG. I guess.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
He's going to.
I don't think you should stay at Roma. But the level of quality is too low. Those players, it is too low.
My problem with Mourinho is that the guy, I think, you know, this is where you are so good, and this happens with talented people. They are so good, they think they can solve all the problems in the world.
Bro, but now they came into the game.
They embrace the challenge.
So they
control
embrace
ball
everything.
now. Control ball.
And that's why I won the Champions League.
Don't draw.
The best player on the team, they got him for free. As Dybala come out, that team is in trouble.
No, the team was in trouble. So if you go to a PSG job now, you go to a big job, quote unquote, that at the worst time. Because all the managers that have gone to PSG in before this guy here, this is the last guy enjoying the harvest. PSG have now, the World Cup has come and gone. PSG have now reverted to type. We're not going to spend ridiculous amount of money anymore because it's not clearly working. Right?
Yeah.
So
they have a very shitty squad.
So the team, I mean the team, Tuchel had the best team. Tuchel had the best team. From then on, the team started going downhill.
All those
this is the last one.
Something.
Ramos is gone after this.
See,
Verratti is.
Jose. No, they've given Ramos a new 1 year.
Bro,
I think they give him
Ramos,
a new 1 year.
Same
They
Ramos.
have to give him with the way things they be now. They have to give him more.
And you see when Mourinho they speak like, I want to stay, but my players is everyone.
Don't start.
And he talk say no club don't reach out to him.
Not
I
lie.
think that guy is gone.
I don't think Mourinho is gone.
I think he's
because he mentioned that his things are still at Trigoria.
PSG.
I don't know where. He said nobody has reached out to him.
It's
But
most likely PSG.
Definitely
It's most
PSG.
I
likely
think
going
it's
to
PSG.
PSG.
I don't think PSG will stick with this Gaetan guy.
Of course now. So
I
I
don't think
think
they
it is.
will.
I think it is PSG.
Yeah.
And well,
It'll be a ridiculous job anyway.
And don't forget, Mbappe has said he wants to stay, so they will have told him that
Mbappe don't
maybe
talk, say he will stay.
one big name is coming. You never can tell. So
Which player would go to PSG at the moment?
that's the thing about.
I mean, coach now. I mean,
That's the thing about when you sign a guy like Jose, for example. It was much like when Everton signed Ancelotti.
Yeah.
You know, you get some players we join Everton that time.
Get
and go
pulled.
and-
Of course now.
see-
All those
Mourinho
Alan
has-
from
Mourinho
Napoli.
has-
Alan.
Why Dybala come Roma? Mourinho has a
course,
cult
you
of
get,
personality.
yeah. You get.
I was even shocked by that transfer.
Of course.
Mourinho has a
No,
cult
like,
of
I-
personality.
And by the way, the injuries that happened to that guy, I think robbed him of being being one of the best players in the world.
Yeah,
I don't
They
know
have
many
fun.
I don't know many players that converts at the rate at which conversing. You know, he's one action.
Made me
out
remember this
immediately.
Roma guy that United were
It's
chasing for a
incredible.
while that year.
De Rossi.
No, one Roma guy.
Strootman.
Yes.
Kevin
Man was a
Strootman,
baller.
You remember?
Injury won't kill
Kevin
him.
Strootman was
Man,
good.
you
Nine
chase that
injuries
guy
destroyer.
tire.
Nine injuries.
Man, you
Injuries,
chase
no.
that
Strootman
guy
was good
tire.
at Ajax.
No, he was
Abi
good at
appears,
Roma.
you know.
Now Roma
He was
gone
good at
gone. Now
Roma.
from that
Injury,
Roma,
na finish
now
am.
from that Roma man, you they find am gone. The
Injury,
guy
na
no
finish am.
gree.
The guy was very good at Roma.
I agree, he was very good. But
Now injury finish him.
Bro, that guy.
Strootman was a baller.
And that was Zaniolo. Now I was Zaniolo dig at Galatasaray or something.
Injury
like
self
that.
no let
I
that
was
one.
like, ah,
You know what they boss?
ACL is
you know
bad.
what they
oh.
boss
Yeah.
ACL is bad.
You know what
That's
they
how
boss
I was
by
scared for this guy who interviewed that day.
You know what they boss
He
my
needs
head
to
for?
manage his knee
You know
now.
what they boss my head for
Bro,
Roma?
ACL.
You know what they boss my head for Roma? This is that way they boss my head for Roma. And I know that that's exactly what Mourinho is speaking to. Bro, they entered this season. The only player we then signed, say they pay. Whether that's 6 million, I'll be 7 million.
the next one was I think 7 million.
You get all this Dybala free.
But the problem is that
Belotti, wetin dey happen for them?
Mourinho they find. They say life no hard. Now you won't succeed.
This guy nonsense quote
You
with
know
that.
that meaning Roma don't tell you say no, we no want day fight now. We no want no carry us Ben. Just mental.
Now you will be overachiever.
I can't think of a team right now, even the smallest team.
You don't understand.
Where somebody like only Dybala go get
Guy, Inter told
and the
Conte
team
now.
is in trouble.
Inter told Conte. They told Conte that see we are selling these players. Don't worry, our target is not. We are not just.
We just want to be
I'm
made
telling you,
in
Italian
peace.
clubs do it. They do. They know that they cannot afford. They will tell you. So if you want to achieve, now you feel achieve.
Big ups
And
to
I'm sure
Sevilla
it's same thing with Roma.
Anyway,
Because
That's the truth.
let's move on. FA Cup final. And it was the same thing. I told somebody, you know, if Ole was United's coach, count the double because I think Ole had a clear.
Had
I don't know how you
Had he-
do it.
had he-
Yeah, I
had-
don't-
So you don't trust
it's-
in Ten Hag.
No, I don't trust.
I feel
no.
Ten Hag will be
To
too
do what
fancy.
I don't
Yes,
trust
He go
Yeah.
over
Ten
10
Hag
Overtake.
to be shameless enough. You get Ten Hag has shown, in my opinion, there are times where he has shown that look, I am going to manage the game for results. But from the start of the game, I've seen Ten Hag set up or change and adapt in the game. I haven't seen him set up from the start, except one game, Man City, when we won, which is the only silver lining in the whole thing. Starting Fred ahead of Eriksen and Casemiro, and playing Bruno
I'm
out.
making Fred man mark.
Making Fred
De
man
Bruyne.
mark
Fred.
That's all you
De
do.
Bruyne.
I think that's the key.
That's
I love that
the-
boy.
that's
That
the
boy
key.
is always
That's
there.
the key because
I think he's leaving.
Fred is staying.
Lisandro Martinez is.
Fred,
is
they will give him
injured.
5-year contract. He say,
Lisandro Martinez is
Leave here.
injured.
Leave here.
Right? Martinez is still injured.
Yeah, out of the
He's
season.
out of
Out
the
of the
season.
season.
Varane.
Brian is good.
Varane is available.
is good.
He's
All
available.
clear.
Yeah, he's available.
All clear.
So
Varane,
Varane,
Maguire is also available. Very
Are you
much.
joking?
Varane, Lindelof, that's your starting.
Look at this idiot you be. This idiot. He say
No.
Pochettino wants Maguire.
A ball playing centre half.
I'm told
English
that Chelsea
international.
I told what?
Chelsea need the English quota.
You know say that the line where reporters when they report transfers they will say understand that I'm told go shit down Jare.
No,
Do you understand?
No, but in that final, I expect that you know the way Pep has set up the Champions League final is a
And that's my
In
worry.
a week-
I think Pep will
a
be
week
thinking
from
about
the
that.
FA Cup
You
final.
know the issue with Pep.
it-
Pep mind might be on that final, that
So
Champions
you
League
go
final.
Matika.
I feel I want to rest one or
See,
two.
make I tell man you get sense.
But man, you get chance for this thing. I swear, because I know Pep.
They start the brother, start Haaland. Make una they tackle them like say that won't break their leg.
He go cover them.
I don't have a problem with Haaland. I have a problem with the supply getting to him.
Yeah, of course.
You
Now
know.
you have to mark the Brenner.
So what's gonna happen? Give me a prediction. Because I always feel like if you can't quite work the game out, you work it from the answer to the end. Right?
I think that because of it, like IBK said, the Champions League now will be playing
know Pep,
will be
yeah.
playing on the psyche of
As
not
in-
just Pep, even the players. Because if you ask them, the players, and this thing tells, where would you rather be? I can tell you on the field on that day of the final, they are thinking. I would rather
play
be on the
safe.
final on the field for the final of the Champions League. So that would play. Maybe they duck out of challenges a bit. Maybe they don't give their all. I think that would play. If you add that to what you know that Ten Hag can do in terms of setting up, You know, I also feel like for Marcus Rashford, this is the kind of game because I think Rashford scores a lot of big game goals, right? So
Especially against City.
When you
Yeah.
come out, when you come out and play high,
you get.
when you come and play high, Rashford is
Yeah,
that's the best for Rashford.
Mr. Walexis scores a lot of big game goals. I think I kind of feel like United just because of that Champions League final. As if it was just a one-off, no other game, then I think is a big.
What do you think is gonna happen?
Now the challenge is to get into Pep's mind to to understand what exactly he wants from the season. If he's really, a big
But
fan.
don't worry, now Champions League.
No, whether he's a big fan of the
As in,
treble.
so
I mean, these are
obvious.
just 2 games away. So it's not as if he's
No,
like,
but this is not just like this is immortality treble. You know they have done the fake treble before one time like that.
Yeah.
You know, I think
Yeah.
so this is the real thing. This is the
But that's
immortality
the thing
one.
about City now. He has two. People always say they have two starting
No, but they do.
So they should play one against Man U now.
no, I think Pep goes full strength just to, make it not be like saying no one treble. Then later can now say no. What we really wanted is
I saw
Guys,
I saw
did
his,
you
I
see
saw,
that
I saw his, I saw his stats. Jadon Sancho scored more goals than Grealish this season.
Oh my God.
Both goals. I think they have the same.
Yeah, but
assists,
Grealish
something
has
like
had a better season.
yes, and has scored more important goals.
I don't think Grealish
no,
needs
the-
to
the-
score in
the
that
point-
team.
the point
is-
What
Yeah.
he didn't do from is doing it.
Yes.
The point is for all the stats mongers, right?
Yeah, people with all the
get-
stats.
Is what we have seen is clear. Grealish has been one of the best players at City this season.
Yep.
Right? And on the other hand, Sancho has been one of the worst players at United this season. But if you look at the stats, you can say, okay, Sancho's having so.
If
he's
not
ju-
by stats.
If not by stats, we won't have a lot of.
Did you guys see that clip where they were asking City fans if they would rather win the Champions League and lose to United in the FA Cup?
Everybody take Champions League.
No, City fans said they don't
want-
they
they
don't
want
want to
FA
lose
Cup.
to United. Yes.
Yeah,
They said they don't mind losing the
Because-
Champions
because
League.
of Derby.
Because of right, he said because he said you might not understand. Say because if you lose to United, say,
So the Real leads to Inter
say you
Milan.
never. He said you won't
No,
hear
it's
the air
Derby,
for the
so,
whole month.
It's fine.
I'm like,
Their
oh
wish,
really?
Their wish has been
Oh,
granted.
man, I don't know. I they tell you.
But they are not serious.
It's fine.
Only
But
concern
But I
Pep
think
is-
them winning
You
the Champions League.
you be Pep fan now. Them they be
I
massive
think them winning the
fans.
Champions League will be a bigger thing for them.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
has
even
to be
soon.
now. It's the
That's what
It's
it's
the
going to
No,
be.
but
Champions
it's-
League.
it's- it's-
It's
it's
what
what
they
it's going
don't
to be.
have in their
That's what it's going
in
to
their
be.
cabinet.
Yeah.
And I mean, for Pep, his ego is tight. to this
I think
year's
the
Premier
advantage City have this time around is the fact that Man United, any this season, they've not been fantastic like that. Their last game in the Premier League as well was.
No,
more
their
like,
last 3
you know,
games.
Last games have that alright. It's just everybody's
You know.
trying to do what they're trying to do.
But like you said, Ten Hag might want to be the fancy guy once again, and but it's going to be tight now. Derby now, but I'll give it to Man City.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Man City-
I think Man City takes it.
Coach of PSG has confirmed Messi will leave. It would have been nice to see Mourinho coach Messi.
Do you understand?
No, Messi will leave already now.
No, I think it's clear
It's
since
been
that
confirmed.
problem.
No, I'm just saying like
Yeah,
it's been
yeah.
confirmed now. The
Yeah,
coach has confirmed he's leaving.
Yeah.
But I don't want him to go to Barca. That's the honest truth.
I think it will be smoking something very strong.
It will be
an idiot.
craziness to go
As
back
in,
to
go back to
that's
Barcelona.
the thing. I
What's
don't-
the
I
plan?
don't-
And
At
if
what
he
point?
does
I
go
don't
back
want
to,
it.
if he does go back to the
But they
blue
said
camp,
City,
I think
City
he'll have
might-
issues with
City might
Xavi.
come in.
Yeah, he will.
I think he'll
Yeah,
have issues with
I
Xavi.
had-
No, yeah, with that. I never they talk all this. Gadola no get shame now. If
I
you
heard
give him
City might
opportunity,
come
he will
in
buy
for it.
Messi.
City might come
Gadola
in
no
for it.
send all this word that they talk now.
Messi, where he tie
Pep, my man.
What you consign now? Gadola
More
will
so,
buy
more so,
Messi.
more so if he doesn't win Champions League.
You think if they give Gadola a chance, he won't buy Mbappe?
He'll be like clearly.
Gadola no send all
destiny is
this
now
things
that-
word that they.
He'll be like clearly.
He's the
But the
one.
guy is shameless. And you know,
Gadola no
the guy
send
know
all
the
this.
in they
Gadola-
talk am
Gadola
He
now.
go buy we
no.
won't buy.
You know-
Nothing consign am and then this was it.
I don't talk as in Mourinho dey find challenge. I don't tell you. Now me go challenge ball stop. Guardiola no find anything. If I no win this, Azal and they bring Mbappe come. Me all two of them they play together. So
Before we wrap it up, I have to call out Dortmund, right? And
Guy.
you know,
You
I know
no
they,
need now, like
guy, that was painful.
I know they fast.
It
support.
was, but
I know they fast put man over
Person, they're like the fans are considering the
head coach, because a
Person
Dortmund
say-
fan.
Person say coach and all of them God go punish all of them.
That one don't play Betty. Banger, don't bang
But
out.
honestly, I've never said anything like that before.
Bro, if I was in that
Well,
stadium,
it was a- it was a
I'll be
huge
pissed.
disgrace.
I'll be-
But you know, for me,
like you're at home,
I'm
bro.
coming from the other end of it. In my opinion,
Which end?
minds should be ashamed of themselves. They should
For
be
what?
ashamed. That thing that they've done now is to what end?
I don't understand. You come to play
Me, so
football.
I don't go. I don't know why all these teams they do like
They
this,
should be
to
ashamed
honest,
of
I
themselves.
swear.
You they joke.
Bayern Munich
You
don't
they
win
joke.
11
FC
titles
Cologne
back to
Thursday
back.
Then go they talk scores of the Dortmund game for their stadium because they have beef with Bayern Munich.
That one no be. See, make I tell you.
Baba, forget
Bayern
that
so
one.
far should be ashamed.
They
And you know the
don't
Get
try.
your
funniest thing-
job done.
You know
You're a
the funniest thing-
professional
you know where Dortmund
football
messed up,
team.
right?
You know where
You
Dortmund
You get
messed up.
90 minutes to win league for your
Where-
front of
Baba,
your
they don't
fans.
try.
Where I feel like
Because in
Dortmund,
our minds,
where I feel like, you know what you
minds
concern me
they
and
disturb
Dortmund.
you.
You know what you concern me and Dortmund. What you concern me and Dortmund. I say.
So now minds no make Alert score penalty.
Then they talk. Wait now. Then they talk yellow
are you
wall.
saying,
Then they talk yellow wall. I would have expected that
Yellow
that
will
game
press their neck.
because
for
up here because
Yellow will make collapse for that
bro
stadium.
because first of all
press their
that Mainz game no be easy game for Dortmund though.
Yeah,
with how
historically.
good that Mainz is. Even the first leg of that game for this Dortmund had to come from a goal down and then win last minute.
Bro.
So it was a difficult game already.
Bro.
But I was expecting that the yellow wall as that game starts. First of all,
Which
Mainz
yellow wall
no fit
is
see
that?
road
Yellow wall.
everywhere. Make them know say today.
Liverpool, Borussia Dortmund, and Liverpool are they're similar clubs.
I think they have
No.
similar anthems.
Anthem,
Similar
yeah.
anthems.
In terms of their fans,
their
abi?
fans,
Yes.
same thing. You know.
Yes. But
Look, if Liverpool need to win one game in their home,
One game.
one game to win anything, even a challenge cup, bro. The first 15 minutes, the first score na 3 goals first.
but Madrid no dey inside sha.
No. Of course, Madrid know this,
because-
right? But you know, even with Madrid, they first score Madrid sharply. They first give Madrid.
I think the atmosphere
sharply.
was not good enough. Let's just put it that way.
Actually, they
because-
did it to Chelsea too. Way back in the Champions League, they scored
I'm
two sharp,
telling you,
back.
if Liverpool need to score 2 goals in their
Bro,
home to win
Anfield,
something,
Anfield.
But you see,
they will first blind on
but
our
you see
first.
this yellow
The
wall.
crowd to suck the ball into
But you
the
see
net.
this yellow wall. We should have
Anfield.
known.
They should stop that yellow wall.
This
There's
yellow
no
wall we should have known.
I beg,
Can I
yellow
remember
wall, press their
against
neck.
Chelsea in the Champions League? That yellow wall, that nonsense Chelsea team, that yellow wall no do anything. That's why you should have known that this yellow
I
wall.
think there was a bit of overconfidence. They just thought that they had it
Against
in their
Mainz.
How
hands.
can you be overconfident in a game?
You know, like say we'll win it. Then before you know, you are 2 goals down.
That-
And then
that's-
your head is all over the place.
so
It
for
was
me,
heartbreaking
They're trying
for
to
me,
get into
Sha.
the
Bro,
game.
I wasn't even watching
Sebastian
the game,
Haller's
bro.
point
I
of
saw-
view.
I
was
know
heartbreaking.
they na Twitter they
Alex
follow
is
am.
gone
And
miss
the thing will
penalty.
affect the guy now.
what's he going to make a miss penalty?
I say he missed
And you know
penalty.
what? The penalty miss
no.
wouldn't have been as painful if they didn't score an equalizer last minute.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
that
I didn't
equalizer
mean they
last
lost.
minute they scored,
You
would
Go give
have
him
been like,
nightmare. Go give
telling
him
you, go give him
nightmares.
nightmare. I swear.
Jamal Musiala. How good is that kid?
I don't
The
know,
guy no
man.
be kid again. I beg.
He can be
Person don't get
anything he wants
how
to
many
be.
matches under
He's
his
a
belt
kid,
now?
man.
It can be anything he wants
That guy
to be.
don't grow.
I mean, he has shown glimpses that with the right coach, with the right team, it can be whatever.
Big
it
shout
wants
out to the
be.
people making decisions at Bayern Munich anyway, because I said it here that they need
Is
to
Tuchel
fire.
gone?
But I think Tuchel will stay. If that the way they not take fire
Tuchel-
Khan
no.
and the other guy, if they had lost the league, you'd have
No,
told
they are fired Tuchel.
you would have fired Tuchel.
I think it would be stupid to fight Tuchel now. You
What
don't
if
want
Tuchel walks away?
Why?
Why?
He can now. They
Who
don't
hire-
Walk
who
away
hire
to
him?
where?
walk away to yeah.
Who hire him?
To Fulham or
Who hire him? Maybe Chelsea. You know Chelsea get nostalgia with Tuchel. So if he
All those Chelsea fans.
if
You
he
don't say
think
someone I see people name for two. Is it Tukeli Ban? Is it not that Tuchel fans? You can-
Caliban.
Oh God.
Pochettino is finally announced at Chelsea, right?
yeah, he said it, yeah. He's going to bang.
What's he
He's
gonna
going
do?
to what?
He's going to bang, bro. No man. He show me
What do you want to put on top of him?
straight up.
What do you want to put on top of him?
You
Top
an Arsenal
four,
fan.
what's he
You're,
gonna
you're
do?
biased.
Bro, let me tell you, a manager that will
It's not about being biased.
that will bang. You make tough calls, and to be honest, I never expected Poch to go all out this way. You know,
All out. What do you mean all
they
out?
signed
By
you
sending
today. They
Felix
announced
back
you
is a
today,
tough call.
and you made it known that these are the players I don't want.
Bros, no vex. Bros, no vex. There's a see. Let me tell you.
If I have Joao Felix,
with the
it
madness-
go hard for me to say
When
wait.
Kunko they come?
make him go
Bros,
back.
wait.
When
Bro,
Kunko
Felix
they
is
come?
actually
I
a very
agree.
good
You
to
still
player.
get Kai
some
advice.
degree. Bros,
Felix is a very good player.
Bros,
Trust me.
I agree to some degree to what this guy is saying. In the sense that
Say you go bang.
it is no, not the bad one. The one we
A
talk about
banger.
Felix, because that means you are up for the challenge
As in,
to
bro.
make decisions that you want to make.
No, but it's actually an easy call.
No,
how is
no,
it
no,
easy?
it's an easy call.
Just for the
No,
sake of
it's an
making
easy
decisions.
call.
Relax now.
It is an easy call.
The call,
but
the
it is
call,
a
the call is he's not contract. Do we go into the decision?
No.
don't.
It is an easy call in that regard. But it is also a call that you didn't really need to make.
You don't
like
need to
that.
make the call. Like
So you making that is saying that you are trying to say something in the sense that, because bear in mind, before the season ended, it was clear. Even the moment the season ended, the Felix wanted to stay. Atletico, they find free money.
Who no like London?
Yeah.
make it no stop.
Atletico, they find free money. So you can tell that then the position for say.
I really don't think there's a
Sweet.
decision to be made here. I really do not
No,
think so.
you don't understand. You're
Because
not
he
getting it,
signed
though.
he signed a loan deal
Yes.
until the summer.
Yes.
It's like
There was no obligation to buy.
Yes.
You've not agreed, okay, like maybe 88 million. At the
That
end
kind of
the
thing.
day.
Now,
So now you're going to negotiation with
No,
Atletico Madrid.
you are
who
not
will
getting.
start the-
You are not getting the
No,
point I'm
the-
making.
I think there
the
was-
point
there
I'm
was-
making is
there
that
was
there
an
was
amount-
no
Say
need.
financial fair
There was
play.
no
Is there an
even
obligation
need.
to buy?
There's no
There
obligation
was
to
none.
buy.
There was
now.
none.
If there was,
There
let's go
was
hold it like.
no. There was no need to. That,
think
the
I-
point
There was
I'm-
no option to buy.
No,
the
no,
point
no,
I'm
you were
making,
just like, go and
why I
help
agree
this
with
team,
IBK is that there was no decision first.
So no, there's no
only
decision.
thing-
Pochettino did not have a decision to
No,
make.
you are not
No,
getting
he had.
it.
Okay,
You
you're
are
not-
you are not
you're not-
getting it.
Actually,
Okay,
I
why
agree
did
with
he
you.
why
you are
did he
not
make
getting
Your London don't
why-
finish.
why did
They
that
get enough
story-
attackers. They
Why did
go.
that story?
Bro,
Why did he
Kuku,
make
they
the news?
come.
Why did
No,
that story
It's
make the
made the
news?
news
That's
because
what I'm saying.
No, it is made.
That's what I'm saying
Listen,
that-
no, let me.
If it
no,
was
let me-
Now
nothing.
Atletico
No,
president
let me
when they
answer
cry.
that.
If it was
It's
nothing,
Atletico
why did he-
president clearly, the guy is clearly not happy that they have to deal with the player again.
No, that's not the. See, I don't
Who
care
doesn't
about
want
that.
to be
What
there?
me I care about is, like I said, Pochettino did not need. There was no need to come and make a statement.
But he has
that
not made a statement
Pochettino, no, now
He
the
didn't say
way
anything.
the
He
way
didn't say
the
anything.
report came out.
But
What
that's
I'm
what the
saying.
report is.
He's the Atletico
No,
president.
wait now. Make I finish. What I'm saying is, if truly now Pochettino say that Felix, I know one time they go. That's what I'm saying. Like,
He's
there's
just
no
on a
need.
show of power where he no need.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what
That's
I'm
what we're
saying.
saying.
That's exactly.
If they don't call him, they come back.
You have come to what I'm saying now. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just a
I don't
case
think-
of, oh,
I don't think
let me
it's
let me
waiting.
show
Maybe
them.
No, say I
Let
don't
me show
arrive.
them.
I don't
that
think
I'm in a
no.
decision. That's what
I
I'm
don't think
saying.
that decision is weighty enough because it's like
So which one is waiting?
I don't think it's a big
Which
call.
one is
sir.
waiting?
maybe
That's
Kovacic
a
is
big
even
call.
a bigger
That's a big call.
decision.
Do you know
sef.
the, do you know the big call? The big call that Pochettino can make at
Bringing
Chelsea
Lukaku
now.
back.
No, we're talking about being ruthless or cutting people.
Okay.
The big call that can make at
Aspilicueta.
now. Say, you know what? I'm gonna build
Aspilicueta,
the
okay.
team.
It's gonna be a
from
big call,
scratch.
trust
young.
me.
Person
Thiago
that
Silva
almost
out.
go last year.
No, that's a big call.
That's the big call
The
you
point
can
I'm
make.
making
Or
with
you
this
say,
particular
or you say, Kepa out.
The point
Mendy
no,
out. I want to
those
bring
ones
in.
will be out anyway. Most likely, 2 or 1 of them will be out. The point I'm making with this call is
Mendy.
that, like I said, there is really no this contract no day anyway. It don't end. What I'm saying is, if truly now Pochettino say no, I don't want, because what that means is that the club would have satisfied what the player and his parent club wanted for him to stay at Chelsea, but the decision was with Poch. So if
If
he's
he wanted,
truly
if
the
he
one
wanted him,
that
you
said
think they won't
no,
go- they won't
I'm
go
not.
for him?
That means he's trying to say it's not a big call. I'm saying, oh, it's a massive call. That means he's saying, look, these decisions I am ready to make them. That's why I agree with what he's saying.
If you wanted him to
think-
stay,
I think-
if you
I
wanted him
think-
do you understand?
do you
That's
think
what
they
it
won't
means.
go all out for him?
If he's the one that said I don't want, that means if he wanted him to stay, he would have stayed.
They were ready to get offers from Chelsea.
So let's assume that Felix
I'm gonna ask
stays.
some
How many
questions.
attackers
If
will
you're
be in
Chelsea,
Chelsea's
if
team?
you're Chelsea,
No, that's a
what do you
different
need?
The point is that
If you're
Because
Chelsea,
one
what
of
do
his
you need? What do
priorities
you
is
need? What do
to
you
trim
need?
down
Felix-
the
is
squad.
Felix-
That's
is
a
Felix
different
not-
conversation
is he
again.
not?
And I'm just
One of his priorities is to
if
trim
you're
down the
Chelsea,
squad, right?
Yeah.
So if Felix stays, how many attackers do I have?
Is
So
Felix
in my
just an
opinion-
attacker? Is he
so
not?
in my
Is
opinion-
he not part of the guy? How many goals
So
did he
here's
score
the
last
thing,
season?
right? So here's the thing, bro.
4.
So
And he's
here's
one
the
of
thing.
Chelsea's guys who scored that last season.
So here's the thing, bro.
If you don't know,
Yeah.
that 4
so
goals
here's
is
the thing,
one.
and in a
If you don't know,
chaos stricken team. So here's my own, Sha. Here's my own. Felix has said.
I swear, get where you hide
Felix.
from, bro.
Felix has said.
Get where you hide from.
Felix has said, oh, the position I'm most comfortable is behind the striker. Same goes for Nkunku, right? Now,
And your striker
They're
being
saying-
Kai Havertz for next season.
they're saying no, they're buying another striker.
Kawa
right?
staying next season.
What's Lukaku?
I don't know.
Lukaku.
So
Like
now,
Kaka.
so now,
So Lukaku has to make a stallion.
Ahmed,
Lukaku
if you
is-
want-
is-
Rock Nation is walking
Ahmed,
around the club.
Isn't good.
Ahmed,
See,
any
bro.
coach
See.
you call, you could just play video of the final. You know me, I don't give anywhere. This good, I ain't.
Now took
Yeah,
Get that
moment.
was Chris Saver.
him and took
So I was saying that. So the report is that Mesima will most likely leave. That's the report. And if that is true,
God.
then that means
happen like this.
you get. Then that means that if that is
Come
true,
by, you come ball.
if that is true, and if that happens, what that means is that the only player you have in that position is Nkunku. That's what it means.
Yeah.
But I still think Havertz's best position is behind the striker.
How much man taking with
No, like behind striker now.
I think that's actually Havertz's best position behind the striker.
How would you give
No.
us a mount behind your striker to play
No, but waiting they play
Messi Mount is
since.
the number 8.
No, but waiting they play since.
for a top team?
I don't understand. Which
No,
one?
that's what he's
we
been
talk
playing
in
now.
a position, but I say for a
That's what he's
talk.
been playing now.
I'm saying, see,
Ten Hag we one time, where one player.
McTominay.
Ten Hag we one
Yeah,
player.
yeah, Ten Hag
McTominay
one player.
Ten Hag one
na
player.
CM.
Where Ten Hag one player?
Don't worry, he cannot play behind striker. Don't worry.
No, yes, where one player?
Right. Most likely right.
You
Right
know, that
wing.
means you are not listening to me though.
Where Bruno don't play.
No.
That means no. You see, that means
Most likely right.
bro. That means he was not even
Sancho,
listening
what
to
you go do,
me.
Sancho?
I said,
Obviously, Casemiro.
Nobody guy
Felix
like
have said
Sancho.
that I'm most comfortable behind the striker. The same goes for Nkuku. I'm saying that's what the player said. Mason Mount is a number 8. I'm talking about that's what the player says they play. I'm not talking about where the coach wants to play them. So if that is the case, what that means is that Mason Mount leave. The only player you have where that's their position is Nkuku.
That's what Vegas
So
said.
why me I
Vegas-
wanted Felix to stay
Vegas-
was competition.
Vegas used-
If you go and compete for his position,
But una don't
you
sign
say
Vegas.
Nkuku. They say Casemiro don't say he go drive and go
He
back
said
ball.
no, that there's a priority account on Twitter. That
He said I wanted to stay, but Casemiro said he would
that
drive me
account,
back.
that account. They say Henry Winter to Ten Hag. What do you make of Vegas? Can I say next question, please?
Bro, that's one of the worst
Hey,
loan spell I've seen in my life.
Social media is
That loan spell is so it's so bad.
It's not a bad low spell, my
No.
guy.
I keep saying it, right? If United
No Premier League
Well,
goals,
if
bro. Not
United-
even
None.
one.
if
that's
United were
bad.
Now, nothing I mean score for FA Cup. I've been
That's
a
bad.
camera.
That's
if
very
United
bad.
were coasting,
And they call the attack Felix.
That's very bad.
if United were coasting, right?
Fans going to pity
Right,
him
with
to
coasting
score.
will do well.
God.
I don't mind keeping. You know why? Because me, I like players
But I
that
need Felix, so Felix go back.
to do with it. Baba,
But they wanted
Felix
Felix.
is another.
And you know that, and you know why?
I think Felix would have bought either at Man U or Arsenal.
You know why I want Felix? You know another reason why I wanted Felix to
You
stay?
know they
You know what? You know another reason why I want
sporting
Felix to stay?
director
Felix
for
go
Old
bang.
Trafford.
Felix go bang for team we get.
We settle. They
You get
settle.
because the idea is where do that's why I don't
Did you read-
get
did you read-
argument
did
with
you
Poch.
read-
If na Poch say I don't want the guy. That means
Did you read the
you know-
reports? Did you read, apart from being luxury player, did you read the report about like what was happening in Chelsea camp? You know all this
Yeah.
post-mortem when you go do the
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Players were not coming for training. They were missing team bosses and team
It was
meetings.
pure chaos, my guy.
You know, people
that's
don't
why
get-
I keep
people
saying,
don't get-
this Felix. You know,
People
some
don't get
people, now,
space
why
for
you do
dressing
well,
room. People don't get space for dressing room. So it's just
Pure
like
chaos, my guy.
Me,
So
I,
at the end
me,
of the
me,
day-
me, I said it before. I don't think Felix is a bad player, right? He's clearly not a bad player. Just that when you are a team that needs to perform each position, it is hard to say, oh, this guy, I'm going to play you here and I'm going to justify this place.
So,
That's
so
own.
my own is I think the problem with the guy is, you see, that's the thing. You see, that's what we discussed.
This guy was. He was
That's
a
what we
mad
discussed here
prospect.
that day.
And
That guy-
You know, football, they very
But-
funny.
but
They
guess-
play
but
like
guess what?
flea.
You
That
be
guy-
man
3,
prospect.
4
You
years.
come back
When
Atletico
Barcelona
Madrid
years
go
go
play
promote.
under
That
Simeone.
guy-
Before you know, that
That
boy will be
guy-
like 28 now.
That guy has
If
not
you
played.
man attacking
You know how old
prospect, he
Marce-
can't go,
you know how old
go
Martial is?
Atletico, go play with.
Eh, how old is
Simeone.
Martial?
Yeah, Marcel is
Then-
now. Marcel's 27 now.
Bro, my brother.
It's a lie.
My brother. It's not
God.
only that now. It was Atletico bringing
You go think say now 25
Eh,
maybe.
now we do Lingard too. Remember, Lingard
So
too.
Yeah, like
he would have
31.
taken Benfica to say no, and for the player to say no. Do you understand?
Yeah,
My
you
own
know I
belief
knew
is-
Lingard's real age. Oh man.
Because in the dab, you just say that. You just
Nah,
because in the dab, you just say that.
I said the day I knew that guy's real age, bro. I want
Since then,
man.
na small
I was
pikin.
shocked. I'm telling you.
Lingard na OGO.
Guys are
Then
bad.
Tammy Abraham they call Lingard big bro.
As in, I want
You get advance. You get.
Oh man.
What do you mean is advanced? He not old. He says
It's
advanced.
advance. It's advance.
Nah,
football.
cute
They
English.
disguise.
Football na time move. I want if you start making wrong moves, you know. And that was how would you leave Benfica to go to Atletico
Now
Madrid?
they bring money now.
Anyway,
Bro, that was a very bad move.
shouts
I can't remember.
to Nigeria's under 20 team
Yeah.
who knocked out Argentina. I never saw that coming. I in football I see a lot of things coming. To be fair,
Defensive
but I didn't see that
masterclass
coming
from
at
Ladamboso.
all. You know, those boys defended.
Even until the 90th minute, I was still expecting it to be 1-1 at some point.
The second goal they
Yeah,
scored.
even the way the guy they attacked, man.
The
And
second
we
goal
kept
they
putting
scored
the ball.
As in-
was clearly a plan from the team. They knew what they wanted to do. They knew what they wanted to do. You can tell the way they played all through the game that this was the plan. And there's nothing more beautiful than seeing a coach's plan come to perfection. It's always so beautiful.
If favor Nigeria now, I don't go here saying I haram football.
I know me.
I don't go here. am.
Nigerians no go. You understand? I see them boys for Twitter. They say, man, say, very
Funny
good
is the
stuff.
people don't give Lamboso
Big
chance
ups.
at all. Nobody gave that guy a chance.
Person say they are
So are they going to win it?
I don't know, man.
I don't think they are convincing enough.
What's the
because
Brazil-
Argentina.
No.
Hold on.
Ecuador,
There's still
Korea.
US.
Ecuador,
Perspective, Argentina
Korea.
are the record winners of that tournament.
Yeah, they
five.
are. Yeah,
Five,
they are.
yeah.
So that's a big win. That was a massive 5.
Yeah.
I think it's like 7 or 9.
No, it's
Brazil,
seven.
Brazil at
Seven.
the second
Brazil,
most.
Brazil are second.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
7.
But I think that the win against Italy was a bigger win than the win against Argentina.
Yeah?
Because Argentina barely got to this competition. They are really here because they are hosting. They battered them in the South America. Yeah. So I think the win against Italy was a much
That's
impressive.
Redondo boy in Argentina. In that team. That boy.
Baka
That
go,
boy in
Baka
Ebola.
go final.
Anyway, that's
Are you
that.
Busquets?
Look, the season is done, so we are we're trying to figure out how often we're going to be on the screens. But not to worry, we're here all through as always. FA Cup final this week. The guys think that Man City will win. I think Man City will win as well, but we'll wait and see how that unfolds.
Guys
Champions
think
League
that Man
final.
U will win.
Oh yeah,
Man City.
France is the only one I think Man U will win. So
You think Man U will win?
I said the reason now.
Okay.
just in case that happens, we would have to give a plaque for getting some predictions right. Anyway, Champions League final next week, but we're recording before then, so there will be a bit more insights as to that and all before that. Transfers are always crazy, so we're going to try and stitch up some transfers and speak about them as to what club it pertains to. But thanks for being a part of the pod all through the season. Congrats to Man City for winning the Premier League title. Congrats to Napoli as well. We did that some time ago. Barcelona fan in the house. Never seen you wear Barcelona jersey before, except once. The Goal 4 edition of the podcast. Annie Freke, thanks so much for coming through. In the Forcecast, always a pleasure. Yeah, to see you for the very first time. And of course, the rest
It's
of the
been
guys
a long
here.
time coming, though.
Yes. Hopefully, the guys enjoy it as much as we have here. From all of us here, click.
I bet you get short plug for
While are they everywhere?
For waiting.
Where is it?
Afang.
Afang is everywhere now.
I don't understand.
Go to-
It's
go to-
everywhere.
Go to
now.
Just Afang now.
Sorry,
Wufai, please.
Make go just a fact.
So everyone knows how we do.
I became a big man.
Go Wufai.
I don't think Zafang they complex as a DK actually.
Yeah, it's actually
to make-
a lot of people can make.
Yeah, a lot of
make-
people. Yeah.